Good afternoon, Quadcopter 101. What I got for you today should be an interesting little review. This camera here is the new SQ8 micro camera. Now, for my smaller quadcopters and smaller airplanes that really aren't capable of lifting very much weight, I've been using the 808 keychain camera. The 808 is still a great little camera to use, but its drawback is it only has 720p capability for 720p resolution. I've always been on the lookout for something around the weights of the 808 camera, in the mid 20 to 25 gram range, that would have 1080p HD capability. Unfortunately, over the years, it's been a few years now, I've been using my 808. Nothing really has caught my eye that might be capable of replacing my 808 for the smaller quadcopters. Until one of my viewers turned me on to this one. This again is the SQ8. Now the SQ8 camera is a very inexpensive camera. It's in the $20 range, I believe. But it has, its weight is about the same as an 808 in the mid 25, 26, 27 grams as compared to like the heavier Mobius cameras that are 1080p or the RunCam 1080p. They're all again in the above 40 gram class, and those are kind of too heavy to be carried by an X5C, but this one just might be able to be carried by an X5C, or that size of a quadcopter. But again, I mentioned this is able to record 720p at 30 frames per second, but also in 1080p, but only in 15 frames per second. So there's a limitation right there, but 15 frames per second might be suitable for many applications, and that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to fly this in 1080p at 15 frames per second. Other capabilities of this camera that I forgot to mention, it can record motion detection. You can set this up somewhere, and if you suspect you want to use a security camera to monitor certain areas of your house, around your house, this will be able to do it. It will start to record only when it senses motion. It also has the capability, see these little black bulbs around the front of the lens? These are infrared emitters. So this has night vision capability using these infrared emitters to provide the light for night vision. So you can actually go ghost hunting on the cheap. Be your own Zach, Nick, and Aaron show and put it up on YouTube if you want. So that's about it. It's a very basic little camera with some advanced capabilities, and particularly the one that I'm very much interested is its ability to record in 1080p. So let's demonstrate that ability to record 1080p. It's a bit of an overcast day today out here in the desert, and a little bit hazy too. Not optimal conditions, but we'll give this a perfect test under these non-optimal conditions. So let's go flying. I got it hooked up to my Sky King F959 from WL Toys. Very favorite airplane of mine to fly. I like this little airplane a lot. You've seen many videos that I've had of it. So let's get it going. We'll fire it up. So I am going to plug in the battery on my F959. And following that, I got to turn on the camera. Battery's plugged in. And to turn on this camera, it's got an on-off switch on the back. You press it once, and I should get a purple light. Okay, we got blue, and then you press the mode switch on the left once, and it switches to red and blue, and then you press the on-off switch once more, and it'll start blinking, which indicates it's recording. So recording is stopped or started. The light goes out momentarily. Pressing the on-off button once more will turn off the recording. Okay, now turning on my transmitter to bind it. We're bound. Checking my control surfaces, motor. We're all good there. Let's go for a flight with my F959 with the SQ8 camera. Hope you enjoy this flight. Well, there we go. Cutting back on the throttle a bit. We're going to send it up. Send it up a little bit higher. And then we're going to see how it glides with it. Yeah, I like the F959, folks. You've seen me fly this many times. It's a great little airplane. Fantastic airplane. Cutting back on the throttle a bit. Well, let's set it up real high. I want up higher. I gotta keep my transmitter pointed at it. Flying great with that camera attached, so it's not too heavy for the F959. I believe an X5C should be able to lift it too. Okay, cutting back on the throttle, reducing throttle. Need to bring it down lower. That's enough high flying. Let's do some high speed flying over the bushes. I hear ravens. Where's that raven? I like to listen for ravens. They usually know where the thermals are. Well, he's flying over there, so there's a thermal there. Let's get up there with him. I see him up there. There's one right there. Turning around, and we're going to join that raven. I'm going to chase that raven. Do you see him, folks? I got to turn back. He's flying out of range. But he had a thermal there for a second. You know, I'm still on the original. This is a brushed motor airplane, and I am still on the original motor of this. But then again, I don't push it too much. I do a lot of gliding and flying at lower throttle. But I've had many flights with this airplane, and it's still flying great. Coming back, reducing throttle a bit. Trying to get a little lower. I want to just skim the bushes, but I don't want to crash into those bushes at the same time. Slowly reducing throttle. Flying airplane, F959. I hope that camera's working. We'll find out in post-production. Oh, I knew I was too low. Oh, we'll go up there and see if it's okay. It's a tough airplane. It should be okay. Oh, which bush got it? Right into the center of the bush. I hope the camera's still on it. That was the purpose of the flight. Oh, not so good, folks. Let's see here. The camera came off as feared, but where did it go? It's got to be here. Well, that was a good smack up. It put a little dent on the leading edge of my wing. I hope it's not too bad. But we're going to go back up again. I got it recording again. So, going back up. It's still flying. This time, the battery's starting to get a little weak. I can feel that. Well, let's see how much more flight time I can get. Oh, it's flying good now. It's still up there. I'm doing an oval over here because the thermal seems to be right over this lip right here. I'm getting a lot of lift right there. Right there, there's a heck of a lot of lift. See if I can come back and catch that again. Right in the sun, too. I like ridge soaring, folks, and this is great to do ridge soaring. And I'm flying over this. Oh man, there's so much lift right there. I can see why that raven was hanging out here. Tons of lift. And I'm a good 200 meters away, so my transmitter's working real well too. Right there, so much lift. Cutting back. Slowly on the throttle. I'm going to try to loop back into that lip again. Get some more of that lift. Still cutting back on the throttle, and it's still climbing. It's caught a nice uplift right there from that ridge. Slow turning, cutting the throttle back even more, and it's still up there. Great airplane. I love the F959, folks. One of my all-time favorite keepers. You know, other than quadcopters, there are airplane keepers, and this is it. My favorite. Just love slope soaring with it. See this ridge right here, folks? That's where I slope soar. Okay, I think that's enough to demonstrate what this can do, this camera. We're going to bring it in for a landing finally. Coming down, reducing throttle. Where am I going to land? Don't have many choices to land here. I just want to avoid hitting another bush if I can. Any bushes this way? Coming in for a landing, folks. There, nice smooth landing. Okay, so that's the SQ8 camera, folks. Hopefully that video came out okay. It's a great little, well, my airplane was able to lift it, so if this airplane could lift it, it should be able to be lifted also by mini-sized quadcopters like the X5C. So again, let me go over and get that and stop the video. Can't remember which one you pressed. That one, I think. Yeah, that one. And this will automatically shut down 30 seconds. That's how you turn this one off. You just don't touch it, and it will shut itself off if it's in standby mode within 30 seconds. There is no on-off switch is what I'm trying to say. It's just on and then automatic off after 30 seconds. So that's the flight of the SQ8. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.